he's just this metaphor-riddled entity, you know, that I just absolutely love, and I'm sad to see we won't be doing it anymore.
Doesn't mean there can't be spin-offs, Rhys.
No, exactly. Yeah. I mean, who knows?
Yes.
Yeah.
David Crow here with Den of Geek, and I'm here with Kelly Marcel, the writer and director of Venom: The Last Dance, and Rhys Ifans, one of the stars of the movie, and welcome to the Den.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, Kelly, you've been with Venom and Tom since the beginning, since going back to the 2019 film, or 2018. Looking back now, what is the thing that surprises you most about the journey you've been on with this character and with these movies?
I think what surprised us most about this movie was how much people loved it. You know, when we were making Venom 1, we really just didn't know. You know, we were kind of like, I think it's this. And so we were really surprised by the reaction to it and the love for Venom.
When the first movie came out, people thought they were watching a villain movie, but he's really become the hero, a true hero, an icon over these 3 films.
Yeah, really unreliable one, though, who lies all the time and withholds the truth from Eddie, who's also, you know, not the greatest person on earth, although I think they kind of make each other better in a way.
After working on the screenplays for the last 2 movies, it just feel natural, feel right stepping into the director's chair on this one?
Yeah, it did. It felt like the right time to step up. I had been on set for both Venom 1 and Venom 2, and you've seen the movie, so there's a lot of mine and Tom's kind of heart and soul in this one. It's very emotional. It is about a friendship, and we have a long friendship, and so I really wanted to see this one through from inception to the end.
When did you both come to the conclusion that this was the conclusion for Tom's version of the character?
We always knew this was the conclusion. We knew that we were signed up for 3 movies, or that Tom was signed up for 3 movies, and that there would be a 3-movie arc, and that this is where we would leave Venom and Eddie. So we kind of knew all along that we were building to this.
But the thing about superhero movies is many people don't ever really want them to end. So was there any pushback or resistance to the idea of, no, we're going to give a definite ending to this story and this version of this character?
From the audience, there's definite pushback and resistance. And obviously we're going to miss Venom and Eddie a lot. They mean an enormous amount to us. But this is where it ends.
But before it ends, we also meet new characters. And Rhys, what can you Martin is a free spirit in this movie. We can call him a man of the world. But what would you say about him when audiences meet him in the movie?
I don't know. I guess he represents a beautiful side of humanity that, you know, that Venom hasn't really come into close contact with. You know what I mean? An innocence, a curiosity, and an endless curiosity, and hope and love, you know, and he has them in ample, equal amounts, you know, and you know, it's just interesting to throw a person like that into the mix, you know, and to see what that does and how it kind of, I guess, in some ways, illuminates aspects of Eddie and Venom's friendship and love for each other and brotherhood that they may not have taken the time to observe, you know.
And he is a father on a road trip with his family, and you all drive through the desert, and there's a real sense of Americana in the movie. And do you think it's important to remind audiences, maybe as much that this is a science fiction story as it is a superhero movie?
Yeah, it is, and also I think there's something quite mythic about it too. You know, in the sense of, and you know, dare I say, you know, biblical in a sense, you know, of it being a journey. You know, and certainly, you know, the desert features very heavily in most of the great religions. You know, as a place of kind of solitude and reflection, certainly, and that's what it supplies here in this story too. You know, that's you're looking at a great writer here. All these things really play into the real charge of this being a final tale. This being an end of sorts. And it's for me, I think, hungry as fans might be for more, I think there's something really satisfying in bringing a story to a conclusion, to watching someone leave us. It's a great. I think it's an important thing to experience.
And on the flip side, and just as profound, did you know how to play Space Oddity on the guitar before?
I mean,
oh my God.
that was a real highlight.
I was like, Rhys.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when we met in a hotel in London, kind of months before we shot, and kind of talked about it. And Space Oddity was a dream, wasn't it? Of sorts. And then it very quickly came to reality, which was amazing. And then we recorded it. Funnily enough, I think we recorded it in a studio that Bowie himself would have stood and singing. So it was a big, I banked a lot of goose pimples on this film, yeah.
And he was so committed. I mean, he learned how to play it. He is singing it. And while we recorded it in a studio, they are singing live on the set. So they're just singing to playback. And because we're shooting with children, you always kind of have to shoot them out first because they have limited amount of hours in the day, which meant that Rhys had to sing and sing and sing while we shot everybody but Rhys to get the kids out. And you must have sung it over 2 days, 30, 40 times.
Yeah.
And it was really incredible dedication. And I kept being like, Rhys, is your voice okay? He's like, no, let's go. And he sang it again and again and again.
Well, I think it's the testament to a very well-written song. I've sung in other stuff, and very quickly a song on a film set becomes, an earwig. And people end up hating it. But, it's a testament to Bowie that, for days and weeks after, you'd hear Sparks, lifting heavy boxes going, "Round control." So we had the whole crew humming and whistling it, and because it's such a beautiful, beautiful song, and it really is, and it's just perfect
for that moment
for this film, and I think the Major Tom, there's
it's
an
meta.
Unavoidable kind of connection there, so we're saying farewell to a great actor as well as a great character, and I think all those things play into the whirlpool of empathy that one leaves the film with, hopefully.
I also really enjoyed in this portion of the movie, Kelly, that they are in the desert, and when Venom and Eddie get there, one of them says, "We're stuck in a wasteland."
Of course they do.
And I was curious, was that a little wink for you and Tom
to course it is.
Experience with Mad Max?
Yeah, there's a lot in there. We're always kind of throwing in little fun Easter eggs throughout the movie, and This Is a Wasteland is definitely a reference to Mad Max.
Did your experience of just observing George on that movie and the work you all did in developing Fury Road, did that influence how you approached directing this movie?
Do you know what? It really did. A lot of directors have had influence on me, one being John Lee Hancock, who directed Saving Mr. Banks, who dragged me to set every day and was like, "You're going to make a shot list." And I was like, "Why? I'm never directing." And he was like, "Well, you might one day." So he was a big influence on me, and George Miller, obviously a massive influence, not only because he's a genius. He's an absolute genius to watch, but he's also the kindest man, and he's incredibly gentle, and he runs a very kind, happy set. And I really thought the way that he was with everybody was so beautiful, and he showed me that you can build a family and you can make it fun. And so that when I asked these guys to come and make this movie with us, and promised them that it would be a fun time, and knew that was doable,
It really, really was, you know, and that's not often the case, you know, for practical reasons on a film of this size, you know. But it really, really did, you know. You created a village, you know, that everyone, cast and crew, just loved showing up to every day, and it had a real, genuine warmth to it. And you know, when you have that as an actor, you just want to bring mice to the door of your director every minute of the day, you know. And we all felt that, and you know, you really did draw out some wonderful performances from everyone. You know, it felt really, just a safe place to fuck up and have fun, you know.
Well, having fun, interesting. Venom has become an icon in the LGBTQ community, specifically after the last two movies. Did you feel a need or an interest in celebrating that in any way on this one?
You know, I think we did some of that with Venom at the party in Venom 2 and talking about coming out of the Eddie closet. I think we continue to celebrate their relationship. It's a unique one, and it is a bromance in a way, and they do love each other. And, you know, they've left everyone that they love and everyone that they know behind in this movie, and I think kind of reached true symbiosis, whatever that means for those two. And, you know, it's sort of Casablanca in a way, isn't it? They finally decided to be together, and they can't, because the world will end.
Oh, I didn't think of it that way. Do you view this as, maybe a love lost story in a way?
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily talking about it in a romantic way, but I'm saying these two people love each other, and have also witnessed what love is, particularly by looking at this family. You know, there's a moment in the movie where Venom says, "Sometimes I wish we could just have a life like this," you know, as Rhys is telling his family that he loves them. And just the simplicity of that, and the knowing that they can never have it, you know, I think is really emotional. And so, yes, it is a love lost in the end.
On a much lighter, and I'll admit sillier note, Rhys, who wins in a fight, Lizard or Venom?
Oh, well, you know what? I would have to maybe put that one to one side. But I mean, in terms of a character, I absolutely love Venom and Eddie, and the relationship they have is just beautiful, you know, because Eddie's so flawed, like all of us. And I love that Eddie, this flawed guy, unwittingly becomes a superhero. I think I just
doesn't want to.
I just love that. I love that dynamic, you know, and I love, you know, Tom's performance, but that whole dialogue, the whole relationship between him and Venom is just beautiful, and it's at once, you know, a bromance. It's also about coming to terms with the voices in one's own head, you know. And not ignoring them or trying to keep them quiet, just accepting their eternal presence. You know, they will always kind of be there. It's how we listen to them that makes change, I think. So he's just this metaphor-riddled entity, you know, that I just absolutely love watching unfold, you know, and I'm sad to see we won't be doing it anymore.
Doesn't mean there can't be spin-offs, Rhys.
No, exactly. Yeah. I mean, who knows?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming by today, and
Thank you
I
for
really
having us.
enjoyed this, and congratulations on the film.
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.